I'm really lucky because my parents, they came from India and both were very educated people in their home countries and came to the United States. So having them as examples while I was growing up was always a part of my childhood. But when I went to school, it wasn't that same kind of exposure to culture. So I was going to schools that were primarily in the suburbs and have a certain population. So that kind of international education aspect wasn't really present when I was growing up until I hit about my high school years. When I went to high school, I had been chosen to go to a conference, which was actually taken right here at this hotel many, many years later. And what was so cool about that conference was it was a teaching experience for students around the world who are interested in diplomacy. So the premise of the entire conference was go to the students all around the world who are interested in international relations or interested in world history or solutions to world problems and bring them all into New York City, those of different socioeconomic backgrounds, things of that nature, bring them all together in New York City to be able to participate as if they were members of the United Nations and solving these huge problems that people are still grappling with today. So when I went to that conference, I wasn't sure what to expect. I had my upbringing, which I understood problems, in areas like India, but it wasn't that at the forefront of what I was learning in the United States as a person going through the educational system. So when I went to that conference, I was actually sitting to a few Japanese students who were affected by the tsunami. And it was incredible because these students were brought to the U.S. to kind of give their perspective on what was happening to their culture and to their land and to their families. And being able to sit next to them come from such different backgrounds and be able to talk about what do we need to do to be able to be effective during crises or being able to support people who don't have the means necessary to rebuild their countries. And even something as far back as 8 years ago is so different from how we approach crises today. So being able to make friends and learn and interact with all of these kids from all of these countries at such a critical age, at such a critical time, politically, economically, and also the way that we were interacting with each other was almost not that relevant 8 years ago. It wasn't something that was being pushed for like we see it as today. So I was really lucky at that age to be able to interact with them, and they ended up becoming really good friends. I can say that I have friends all around the world that I can interact with and talk to and be with. And still seeing us all grow, all of us had taken paths in some variation to kind of tackle the issues we were talking about 8 years ago. When I went to university, I took that kind of experience with me and became an international relations major at Binghamton University. And because of that upbringing and because of that experience, it also impacted the way that I became a leader on my campus. I was in undergrad not that long ago, but I was always seeking out these opportunities to interact with people who are coming from different countries onto our campus. I would eventually become a resident assistant for international students and helping out with international student orientations, and just being able to be a part of their transition and being able to be a welcoming presence for them. I think being able to have that friendship formed at such a young age, made me more able to be a part of more people's lives and being able to connect more people and have them feel welcomed in this country, but also feel like they can be a part of this impact, not only in their home countries, but also in their host countries, being able to become scholars or pursue research or being able to create those connections, be involved in nonprofits, be involved in business. All of these things, if we didn't have that talent coming in, I don't know if we would be where we are today. And being able to be a small part of that kind of that journey for people has been really inspiring. Thanks to those experiences growing up all this time, I was able to return to IIE. I had done a short internship when I was still doing my undergrad, and then being able to come back to IIE and being able to physically help foreign students, find universities where they can make an impact, being able to give more resources to universities to host scholars, things of that nature are just so important to me because I've seen it at the ground level, seeing my parents come to this country and what they've done for this country, and then seeing my friends come to this country and impact people like me, and then seeing residents and university friends coming into this country and making that impact. Now being able to do it on a larger scale now, it means a lot to me.